Becky. Welcome to my channel. If you are new to me, if you're already subscribed to me, hey, I'm glad to see you. It's been a while. I haven't posted a video in a while, and I certainly have not posted a homeschooling video in quite a while, but it is the time of year where if you do homeschool, most of us are already or in the middle of homeschool planning for a new school year. Pretty much everything that I'm going to be using with my soon-to-be 10th grader has already been decided, purchased. I have one more thing to purchase. I'm just kind of waiting to see if it's going to go on sale before then. Other than that, we're all ready and set to go. So many years of homeschooling under my belt. I'm kind of nearing that finish line, which is a weird place to be. But I do feel like I have shared a lot over the years. I'll link my homeschooling playlist for you. There's tons of videos in that playlist, and you can kind of go along that journey with me. But one question that I have gotten repeatedly over the years, and actually somebody even asked me in my personal life recently, they were like, how do you know which subjects to do online or which ones to do with a book, or do you do all of one type or all of another type? And we very much are what I would consider eclectic homeschoolers. We pick and choose which curriculum we like. We don't use a set curriculum. Like, we don't use one company for every subject. I've always kind of picked and chosen what I thought would work best for each girl, depending on the subject, depending on the learning style. And then I kind of alternate between book subjects and online subjects. And there's a kind of a method to my madness when it comes to choosing what we're going to do online and what we're not. And so that's what this video is about, to really help you decide if you are trying to figure that out, that balance, if you want a little bit of online work, but not everything maybe, or maybe you do. But if you're kind of picking and choosing, how do you decide what's going to work best for you and your child? This video should be helpful to you guys. So there is a giveaway attached to this video, so stay tuned to the end. You'll have all the details about the giveaway, so if you want to enter, definitely check out the end of the video to find out how to enter the giveaway. A couple things to think about when you're trying to decide which subjects are best to be done on computer, and I'm looking at my notes here. The first thing is, and that was the biggest one for me, was what subjects do you feel qualified to teach and which ones you don't. For me, math was one that I knew I did not feel qualified to teach. Even if it's a concept that I can do myself, which is probably not very likely, especially once you get into the high school years, I'm not good at explaining math processes and procedures. And I'm not good at explaining it in a way other than the way that I understand it. So if one of my kids understands things differently than me, which chances are they do, I'm not able to explain it any other way than the way that makes sense to me. So that kind of puts a wall up there. So I knew math for us was gonna be one, way back when we were gonna homeschool our oldest, and our youngest wasn't even in school. I was like, we started talking about homeschooling, and I was thinking like, and I even said to my husband, I'm like, what am I gonna do about math? I can't teach math. I barely understand a lot of it, you know. So are there subjects like that for you that you don't feel qualified to teach? You just do not have a strength in that area. That's going to be the thing that you're going to look at first, finding an online curriculum for. And then maybe you can do book subjects, parent-led, teacher-led subjects for other things that maybe you feel a little bit more qualified to teach. Also, what do you have time for? Maybe you don't have time to teach every single subject. Maybe you just are working outside the home or inside the home, and you don't have time to do a full school day with your kids. Maybe you've got multiple kids, multiple ages, and you don't have time every day or even every week to do each subject with each child that needs to, you need to help them. So maybe you outsource with an online program certain curriculum, certain subjects that you want to have somebody else to take care of while you're working, while you're teaching the other kids or whatever. So you have to really think about that too, what your schedule looks like in the upcoming homeschool year, what you realistically have time to teach every single day or every single week. And then for us, it's just really variety. Like I said, I really like to pick and choose what I think the girls will like the best, what I think they will respond to the most, what suits their learning style. And for us, it's been a little bit of online, a little bit of book. And I don't want my girls, and I never did want them to be online all day long for school. I really wanted to kind of keep that to a minimum because we're all on screens too much anyway. Phones, TVs, computers, whatever it is. I don't want them on a computer an extra 6 to 8 hours a day, or however long your school day takes. It really doesn't take that long, but even a couple hours a day. I didn't want them on the computer that much to add to already screen time that they're doing just normal life stuff. So mixing and matching and really choosing which subjects are important enough to put them on a screen for, and then which ones they can do out of a book. And then I mentioned learning style. That's a huge reason to possibly utilize an online program. A lot of kids are auditory kinesthetic learners. They benefit from seeing something on a screen, whether it's a teacher writing on a board or some type of graphic that's popped up and there's like, you know, working through a problem. Those visual learners are going to respond better, theoretically, to an online program for certain subjects than they might a book. So you really have to decide, like, especially math, I know is a huge one for me and my youngest daughter. We really need to see it written out kind of over and over and over again. So an online program is really going to help her, at least in that subject, to retain the most information. So you have to think about, you know, noticing your child. Are they auditory? Are they visual? Are they kinesthetic? And suiting the online or book curriculum that you're using for different subjects to that learning style. And then a lot of online programs as well will have an immediate feedback feature to them. Whereas if, you know, if I teach a lesson and I give my daughter her workbook and I say, go do this worksheet, she could be making mistakes all over the entire worksheet before I grade it that night and realize she didn't get this concept at all, and now I've let her do an entire worksheet incorrectly. And so that's hard to kind of go back and like erase what she's already taught her brain. Now we've got to start over again basically the next day. Whereas a lot of these online curriculum programs, the math program that we use teaching textbooks, is this way. There's immediate feedback. As she's going through the lecture and watching the lesson, as she's doing the problems every single lesson, she's getting immediate feedback if it's right or wrong. So we're stopping problems before they become problems, you know what I mean? Like we're kind of nipping it in the bud before it continues to be something she's doing consistently incorrectly before I catch it that night or the next day. So, and then the last part of it, I think that really would something for you to consider about whether choosing online or a book curriculum is accessibility. Something that you can take with you on the go, something you can do or use on any device. So, you know, you have a book curriculum, you could take a book with you pretty much anywhere that you want to go, but you're not necessarily able to teach a lesson, you know, while you're waiting at the orthodontist or while you're driving on a road trip somewhere. So being able to have the curriculum, the online curriculum, accessible where your child can use headphones or they can, you know, just watch the lecture on a variety of different devices is really helpful. Maybe you travel a lot, maybe you have kids that are in sports. I know these travel sports teams can be really crazy. And maybe you've got siblings of the kid and they're going all these places and they're having a hard time getting their school done. So something that can be done on a tablet or a smartphone or a computer, something that has online and offline capabilities would be really awesome. So those are really pretty much the 6 things I would consider the most when it comes to choosing between an online curriculum for certain subjects and a book curriculum for certain subjects. It's kind of what I think about when I'm picking and choosing each piece of my kids' curriculum, like the whole year's worth of what they're going to be doing that year. These are things that I really consider the most. So and for us, math has been would have been a thorn in my side had I not found teaching textbooks early on. If you guys have watched my channel for a while, you know I've talked about and sung the praises of teaching textbooks for years and years and years because it was the first curriculum we ever purchased way back when. And it's been the curriculum that we have used the longest for my oldest and my youngest. And I just think it's a great program and it checks off every single one of those criteria that I just mentioned. I don't feel qualified to teach math, so it does it for me. There's automatic grading. It keeps a cumulative grade as well throughout the year. So you're not just getting a grade per lesson, you're getting a grade overall for the entire year. It's accessible anywhere, online and offline. You can use it on tablets, phones, computers. There's immediate feedback from my daughter. So she's watching the lecture, she's doing the problems. It's telling her immediately if she's made a mistake and then shows her again how to rework that problem. If we want, we can go back and erase entire lessons and have her start over completely and have the lecture retaught to her and do the problems again. And she is a visual learner, but especially with math, like I said, she really benefits from seeing the problems worked out repeatedly if necessary, being able to go back and redo them, being able to go back and rewatch a lecture. It's just been so beneficial for her. It's been so beneficial for me. It does save time, obviously. I'm not having to teach math. So even if I was a super math genius, which I'm not, I don't have to teach math. That's something I can check off my list at the end of the day, and I didn't even have to do it, and I didn't even have to grade it, and it's done for me. So it definitely has been a blessing to our homeschool and something that I highly recommend to you guys. I did mention there's a giveaway to this video. So One thing that's great about teaching textbooks is they are very generous to offer a 15 lesson free trial for anybody who wants to try out the program. 15 lessons gives you a pretty solid look at the curriculum, how it's set up, how it's going to work for your kid or not. And then you can pick and choose or do as many free trials as you want for different levels to figure out which level you want to put your child in. There are placement tests as well, but if you really want to kind of get in there and nitty gritty, you can do the free trial for as many of the levels as you need to. Teaching Textbooks actually is offering you guys, I'm going to be able to give away 5 one-year access to one of the levels. So 5 of you will get access to 1 level's worth of teaching textbooks. All you have to do to enter the giveaway is sign up for a free trial of any of the levels that you're interested in with the link below, and then comment that you signed up. So that'll be an entry. And if you already use teaching textbooks, obviously you don't need the free trial because you know how amazing it is, but you can still enter the giveaway by commenting what your favorite thing about teaching textbooks is and by sharing the video. I will have the dates of the giveaway also typed out for you in the description box, so definitely check that out if you're interested. The free trial is great for you can figure out, if you win, which level you're going to want to start your kid with. So I just thought that was really generous of them. Their pricing, speaking of generosity, their pricing is also extremely affordable for access to a digital course. They have large family discounts for families between 4 and 8 students using teaching textbooks, so that's a great option if you have several kids using the curriculum. And I think over the years, I have especially appreciated and enjoyed seeing how they have kept their pricing to a minimum when it seems like everything else is going up and up and up, especially online curriculum. Some of these programs can be astronomically expensive, and teaching textbooks has maintained a very affordable cost, I think, across the board for years now. We've been using it for a very long time. As I said, the details of the giveaway are in the description box. Make sure if you want to enter that you check out those dates in the description box to find out when you have to enter by. And make sure that you are watching going back to this video and checking to see if you have won the giveaway, because that's really the only way I have to contact you is through the comments section. So make sure that you don't just like enter and then never check the comments again, because that's where I will be contacting you if you have won the giveaway. So make sure you keep your eye on that. I appreciate you watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.